Today we will discuss about the subclavian artery. Before we will discuss the subclavian artery, I will show you the structure at the root of the neck. This is the clavicle. You can see this is a clavicle, and this one is the first rib, and it is a sternoclavicular joint, and it is a first sternochondral joint. Here you can see this is the sternocleidomastoid muscles, which goes downwards, and it is a two head. This is the sternal head, and this one is a clavicular head. Here we have already cut the medial end of the clavicle, sternoclavicular joint we have cut, and now I will reflect the clavicle. You can see just below to the clavicle. Here you can see this is the vein. It is the subclavian vein, and from the above side you can see this is a vein. It is called the internal jugular vein. Both vein are united. It makes the left brachiocephalic vein, and here on the opposite side towards the right side, here you can see this is the right brachiocephalic, and here both the left brachiocephalic and right brachiocephalic are united. Left brachiocephalic, which is longer as compared, because the superior vena cava lies on the right side. So this is the formation of the superior vena cava by the two vein, right brachiocephalic and left brachiocephalic are united. It makes the superior vena cava inside the superior mediastinum. I will also show you the this is the subclavian vein, and this is the external jugular vein, which is open inside from the neck. This is the external jugular vein. I will reflect this vein on the upside for the better visualization of the muscles. Here you can see here this is the vein, internal thoracic vein, along with the internal thoracic artery. I will show you the internal thoracic artery. Now we will discuss about the subclavian artery. Subclavian artery, it is a principal artery inside the neck of the root of the neck of the at the root of the neck, and it becomes continuous as a principal artery. It becomes continuous as an axillary artery at the outer border of the first rib. This is the outer border of the first rib. Here you can see this is the inner border of the first rib. This is the outer border of the first ribs. So at the outer border of the first rib, this subclavian artery, it becomes continuous as an axillary artery inside the upper limb. So it is a chief artery inside the neck, and it is divided by the three part by the one muscles. It is called the scalenus anterior muscles, and the artery which is proximal to the scalenus anterior, this is the first part of the subclavian artery. This is the left-sided subclavian artery. Artery behind to the scalenus anterior, and posteriorly you can see this is the scalenus medius muscles, which in between there is a passing the subclavian artery. But the vein you have to remember which passes anterior to the subclavian artery, vein which passes in front of the subclavian scalenus anterior muscles. Here you can see the third part, which start from the outer border of the scalenus anterior to the outer border of the first rib. This is the third part of the subclavian artery. So subclavian artery have a total three part, which coming from on the left side, it is coming from the arch of aorta, but on the right side, which is coming from the brachiocephalic trunk, and brachiocephalic trunk, which gives to the right brachiocephalic artery, it gives the right subclavian artery, and it is divided by the three part by the scalenus anterior muscles. But on the right side, you have to remember it is the branch of the brachiocephalic, and brachiocephalic divide into the right subclavian and right common carotid. But on the left side, it is directly coming from the arch of the aorta, and this is the common carotid artery. Now we will discuss about the relations of the first part of the subclavian artery. Anteriorly, it is related with the common carotid artery, and also there is a phrenic nerve. Here you can see I will show you. This is the vagus now, but I will show you the vagus which is passes come out from the common carotid and internal jugular, and in between there is a vagus. It is the 10th cranial now. It is passed from the internal jugular and the common carotid artery. Now I will show you. This is the scalenus anterior, just medial to the scalenus anterior. You can see there is a nerve. It is the phrenic nerve. This is the phrenic nerve. This phrenic nerve, which lies just medial to the scalenus anterior or anterior to the scalenus anterior, it is a phrenic nerve, and which is formed by the C3, C4 and C5 fibers, and which is innervate to the diaphragm. Now I will show you the branches of the first part of the subclavian artery. This is the first part of the subclavian artery. This is the first branch which goes inside the thorax along with the internal thoracic vein. It is the internal thoracic artery. So this is the first branch, internal thoracic artery, which supplies to the intercostal muscle, and each intercostal space it gives the two artery we discussed in previous lecture inside the intercostal muscles. The second branch is here. This is the vertebral artery, but it is directly variation. It is directly, normally it is come out, it is a branch of the subclavian, but here it is a directly variation. It is come out from the arch of aorta. Normally it is come out from the subclavian, but here it is directly branch of the arch of aorta. Third branch, here you can see this is the thyrocervical trunk. It is also a first part of the subclavian artery, and it gives the three branches. One which is goes upwards, it is called the inferior thyroid artery, and it supplies to the thyroid gland. Another is the suprascapular. Here you can see this is the suprascapular artery which is goes laterally throughout. This is the suprascapular artery, and here you can see this is a suprascapular artery. So this is a throughout, this is a suprascapular artery which goes into the upper border of the suprascapular notch, and it makes the anastomosis around to the scapula. And the third branch you can see this is a transverse cervical of the thyrocervical trunk. So these are the three branches. First is the inferior thyroid, transverse cervical and suprascapular artery, which is goes inside the scapula, and it makes anastomosis around scapula. Normally the second part gives the costocervical trunk, and it gives the superior intercostal and deep cervical artery. But here the artery which is here you can see this is a costocervical trunk, and this costocervical trunk which divide into the two branches inside the neck, it gives the branches to the, here you can see these are the two branches of the costocervical trunk, and this costocervical trunk, the branches which is goes inside the cervical region, it is called the deep cervical artery. Here you can see this is the deep cervical artery. This one is the deep cervical branch of the costocervical trunk, and another is the smaller branch of the costocervical trunk. It is called a superior intercostal artery. It is the superior intercostal artery, and it supplies to the into the first and second intercostal space, posterior intercostal space. It is a superior intercostal artery. So this is a superior intercostal costocervical trunk, and sometimes there is a third part gives the dorsal scapular branch from the subclavian artery. So these are the three branches of the subclavian artery. The relation here you can see the mainly anteriorly first part which is related with the common carotid, vagus nerve and internal jugular vein. It is the anterior relations of the first part of the subclavian artery. Posteriorly it is related with the, here you can see there is a, we have removed the lung. So the posteriorly it is related with the lung, suprapleural membrane and cervical pleura and apex of the lung. These are the relation on the posterior sides. The relation into the second part anteriorly, it is related with the scalenus anterior muscles into the second part, and the right phrenic nerve Here I have already shown you, this is the right phrenic nerve, which is deep to the prevertebral fascia. This is the left phrenic nerve, but this is a phrenic nerve which is also lies anterior to the second part, and there is a sternocleidomastoids. We have already, this is the sternocleidomastoid muscles we have removed. So these are the relations of the second part, sternocleidomastoid, scalenus anterior, and phrenic nerve. It is the anterior relation into the second part, and posterior relation are the same: suprapleural membrane, cervical pleura, and apex of the lung. Third part and superiorly, it is related with the upper and middle trunk of the brachial plexus. Here you can see this is just above to the subclavian artery. This is the upper and middle trunk of the brachial plexus. So this is the brachial plexus, you can see here, which is related into the superiorly. And the third part, anteriorly, it is related with the middle 1/3 of the clavicle. This part of the clavicle which is related anteriorly, middle 1/3 of part of the clavicles, and the posterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscles. Posterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscles, and also there is a subclavian vein which is lies anterior to the subclavian artery. So anteriorly and inferiorly there is a subclavian artery. The posteriorly it is related with the scalenus medius. Here you can see this is the scalenus medius muscles. Behind to it, here you can see this is a scalenus medius. Behind to the third part and lower trunk of the brachial plexus, which is the lower trunk of the brachial plexus, lies into the and suprapleural membrane. Posteriorly also cervical pleura, suprapleural membrane, apex of the lung, and superiorly it is related with the, again it is related with the upper and middle trunk of the brachial plexus, and inferiorly it is related with the first rib. Here you can see this is inferiorly related with the first rib. So this is a first rib. Here also you can see this is a first rib. So these are the relations of the subclavian artery. So you have to remember subclavian artery on the left side it is the directly branch of the arch of aorta, and on the right side it is a branch of the brachiocephalic trunk. You have to remember. So it divides into the three part by the scalenus anterior muscles. Anterior, proximal to it, from the arch of aorta to the scalenus anterior, it is the first part. Behind to the scalenus anterior, it is the second part, and distal to the scalenus anterior to the outer border of the first rib. Outer border of the first rib, it is called the this is the outer border of the first rib. Up to here, it is called the third part of the subclavian artery. And the branches we already discussed. It is the internal thoracic artery, vertebral artery. It is directly here. In this case, it is directly coming from the arch of aorta. This is the thyrocervical trunk, and it divides into the three branches. Inferior thyroid, it gives the inferior thyroid, it gives the suprascapular. Here you can see this is a suprascapular which is come along with the, this is the suprascapular, and third one is the transverse cervical artery. So we already discussed the branches, and this is a costocervical trunk. This one is a costocervical trunk, and this costocervical trunk, it gives the two branches. One which goes inside the neck. It is called the deep cervical artery, and another is the superior intercostal artery. And third, sometimes there is a dorsal scapular which is directly coming from the third part of the subclavian artery. This is the axillary artery because it is from the outer side of the first rib, so it is the axillary artery, and this is the thyrocervical trunk. So this is about to the subclavian artery.